Hey guys, it's Jim Bounds with Co-op Motorworks and Motorhome Rehab Ranch on Patreon. Thank you for being a member. And today we're going to talk about propane. Hank Hill, propane products, you know that stuff? Well, when these motorhomes were designed, propane was kind of a big deal. And I know you guys that live up north, I mean that furnace, everybody huddled around it. Now, I understand the cold thing, but over the years, I think what's happened, because I run into people that furnace hadn't been on in 10 years, okay? That maybe if you're gonna go out and enjoy yourself, you shouldn't have to worry about being 20 below, you know what I mean? I wouldn't, like when I was a scoutmaster, I'd make sure that we didn't go have a camp out. Hey, Eleganza. Make sure we didn't have a camp out on a rainy day. You know what I mean? So, but back then, the infrastructure was a big deal. And here's Fat Man. This is the tank from a standard GM floor plan coach. Now, the Coachman Royale series, a lot of the Transmodes and 23-foot coaches are smaller than this. But this was where GM thought it was going to be. It's a lot of gas, man. You know, the only thing I use, well, I've got a furnace, but I put it in because my son he called me. He was in Oklahoma City and said, "Dad, I'm cold." First time I ever got cold in the motorhome. So I put a furnace in it. I haven't turned it on since, you know. But so this big tank, you could go a week in the furnace running, okay? Problem is your battery would die, because that furnace blower pulls like 20 amps. So if we're trying to be more effective and efficient on our space today, and you're not living, you know, or you're not going to go camping where it's crazy, this may be a little bit large, because you could use this space for other things, okay? But let's say this is in here and you want to use it. Let's talk about it, all right? First thing, this has a single stage regulator in it. This is what they originally had. The original was kind of a green color. You don't want to use this. Why? Because this just regulated the pressure. A new regulator has a second little smaller circle here. Okay, that's a check valve. They'd say the system breached or it started leaking real bad, it would shut off. Okay? So that's a two-stage regulator. Now, if you have a single-stage regulator, I tell you, man, you need to go to Camping World, go buy a two-stage regulator, and put that on there before you use it again. You need to get rid of this thing. It's important, okay? Second thing you'll see is this ball valve. Now, this is where a lot of the leaks are. Hit it with soap. See if it leaks or doesn't leak. If it leaks, look, you can go have this tank recertified. You need to do that. You need to put a new inlet valve here. You need to put a valve here. Might even put a float in it. But it's worth it. If you want to keep this much gas, it's worth getting a 45-year-old tank reserviced, okay? But if it's not leaking, okay, keep the cap on it, because that rubber seal right there is really, really important. All right, and there's two positions for this valve. And there's a little gas. All the way off, because there's a seat at the bottom that it seats out, and then all the way on, because there's a seat at the top. In between, it's using the packing of the stem, and that's not enough to hold the high pressure that's in there, okay? So all the way on, all the way off, nothing in between. Very, very important, okay? Next thing, you got two wires. One's a black wire, and it's grounded. It's a good idea to have a tank like this grounded for static electricity, but also the sender needs to have a ground. And the other wire is your sender for this LP gauge. It's manually, you can look at it, but then it's got a resistor in here that turns on your remote gauge. Yes, these can be replaced. You really need to go to a propane guy and get this stuff done. It's really important. In fact, what we're doing, we're not using these, okay? What we're putting in, because think about this. If you have a sailboat, you can't haul the boat to take it in and get gas, right? So what you do is you have a tank that you can take out and go get the gas and bring it to the boat. That's a really good idea, especially when you can, there's barbecue grill tanks available everywhere, you know, the ones that refill, little 5-gallon jobs. So what we do is you buy 2 of those, and there's a marine switcher, because on a boat, they'll buy 2, it switches to one tank. As soon as the pressure's down, it switches to the other tank. Then you take that tank out, put a new one in. When that tank gets low, it'll switch back over to this tank. You don't have to, you know, bleed the system or anything like that. It automatically goes over, then you take that tank out. So you're bringing the gas to the motorhome. You don't have to drive to the motorhome to get this sucker filled up. Okay? So your propane delivery is important. And if you go to Marine Propane on the internet, and by the way, one other thing, where to get stuff, dude, it's on the internet. It's just all there. You don't have to seek stuff. If you know what you're looking for, hell, Amazon will bring it to you the next day. So rather than giving you fish, let's talk about learning how to fish. Okay? So that's really that's kind of the way I'm looking at what we do here, the things we do. I want to show you how to fish. Okay? Now sometimes I may have to keep you away from you know, some bottom feeders or something like that, and that's why I'm here. Oh, by the way, if you wonder why this shirt is hanging out like this, man, I've lost a lot of weight since I got on to a rally. Look at this. This is a Sunshine Statesman shirt. It used to fit. I got to sit up straight. Remind me. All right, so having your propane delivery, what are you going to deliver it to? All right? So the next video that we're going to do is about the appliances that go to this tank, or whatever tank that you put in. Okay? So look at your tank back there. If it looks bad, take it out. There's 4 bolts down here. Just take it out. Sand on it lightly. And somebody did it on this, shot it with white appliance enamel. Okay? Or you could get gray if you want, or whatever. I think they were originally gray. But tape everything off and shoot it with that appliance enamel. Have it look good. As long as this label is on it and it looks good, they're going to fill it. If they don't, then go get it set up. Make sure you have this 2-stage regulator. All right? Don't want you to blow up. You know, I don't. Old RV appliances remind me of a Molotov cocktail. You know, it's just waiting to go. And we'll talk a little bit about you know, the water heater, furnace, and roof air conditioner. We'll talk a little bit about that on the next video. So let me know what you think here. Give me your ideas. This seems to be the running SOP, because believe me, if you're going to spend $150,000, $200,000 in your motorhome, we don't want this. All right. Well, look. Thank you for your time. Thanks for being involved, being a ranch hand. If you're not, hey, check it out. You're not much, and if you enjoy this, it helps us to do it, for us to afford to do all this stuff. Thanks for being here, and thanks for Scarlett over there, my producer, for doing all this stuff. And Elegans, I'll thank you too. All right. See you next time.